Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome to a Challenger Spectate, and today it is a Challenger Spectate because we're watching the 5th ranked player on EU West. It goes by Knight or Knight 9Z. Is a mid lane main and isn't a Kassadin player. I want to make that point clear. So they're not a Kassadin player, they're playing solo queue. This is a Challenger solo queue, player. And the question, obviously, that we're asking in the video title and watching the video is Kassadin still broken? Now, obviously, I have my own personal feelings of Kassadin, and I think I made that very apparent in Season 10, that this champion, for me, was just so broken and ignored by Riot. And every single time we did a patch note video at the beginning, it was always that little, like, oh, is he getting nerfed yet? He did receive a little nerf, which was a nothing nerf. And then if you guys don't know, day basically 1 of preseason, with all the new item updates, Kassadin players and everyone said, oh, he's unplayable. Literally, they got rid of a couple of his items. You can't play this champion anymore. Meanwhile, level 1, fight, and Kassadin takes the kill with his W. Oh, you can't play him anymore. So Riot buffed him after 1 day of preseason. There's a lot of champions in the game that are basically unplayable, very weak. And they did that with Kassadin after him being a really controversial champion for a whole year. So I don't know what it is. In my head, I have a conspiracy theory that there must be some main in the balance team. There has to be a Kassadin main, right? Because why does this champion get so much love by Riot? It's crazy. He's not really even a competitive pick. Look at that damage! That was a lot. So I just want to point it out that obviously Kassadin is a champion, and we all can agree to this, whether you think he's overpowered or not, he is not an early game champion. Even him getting 1 kill, first blood, should not really do that much. He is what you'd consider a mid to late game scaling champion. And, yeah, we're going to see how it goes, basically. In theory, he shouldn't snowball. He's against a Sylas. Sylas is quite a strong pick himself. Healing, the trades are going well for him. Healing, a lot of people have said, is not good at the moment. They haven't really fixed that. Sylas in lane phase is very strong. With healing, lane pressure, damage is even quite high. So it's not a free lane for Kassadin either. Well, really no lane is free for Kassadin usually because, again, he should get bullied in the early game. I don't know what... I'm not sure what mythic items he's going to run, obviously. We'll see. But obviously level 3 has his QWE ready to go. And not expecting any crazy fireworks in lane phase. But the damage, you can see the damage is, for Kassadin just having a Doran's Ring, that damage is more than I would think a Kassadin should do myself. I'm presuming maybe Night Harvester. Yes, this Kassadin is running, by the way, Electrocute Ignite. So it's very aggressive Kassadin. A lot of Kassadins may go Fleet Footwork, and they'll have a bit more of a sustain to get through lane phase. This Kassadin hasn't opted for that. He has opted for, I'm going Electrocute. Jesus, he's aggressive. This is nuts. He's gone a Blasting Wand first item. It's very aggressive. No survivability, as a champion that's supposed to scale. He is like, oh, yeah, I'm a mid to late game scaling champion. I'm going to go full damage early. Completely full damage early. That's weird to me. It's really weird that that's happening, but it is. Obviously, you can see on the enemy team, by the way, the Sylas is running Fleet Footwork to get, again, that more sustain in lane phase. Probably was expecting Kassadin to do the same, but obviously this Kassadin didn't. I can have a little look while we're kind of just waiting. Weird teleport, arguably, by the Sylas coming back to mid lane. Let's have a little look at what rating the Sylas is, just to give you guys an idea. So the Sylas is also a Challenger player. So the guy we're watching is 5th in Challenger, about 1900 LP in Challenger. And the Sylas is Challenger, basically 800 LP. So obviously quite a big difference, but that's the thing with Challenger. There are these big difference LPs because that's just how Challenger is. And this Sylas, again, is a mid lane main by the looks of it. Maybe a bit of top lane as well. So yeah, another Challenger. So it's not like, oh, Kassadin is against a Diamond player or a Master player. No, it's Challenger versus Challenger. Meanwhile, bot lane, by the way, you might be able to see, it's going very bad for Ezreal. So Jhin is getting nerfs very, very soon. Rightfully so, that champion is very strong right now. But the Jin's having a free lane, and someone in Twitch chat just said apparently the Ezreal is Froggen. The old, don't think he's a pro anymore, so I guess he's now a professional streamer. But apparently that's Froggen of an account that he now plays on. Meanwhile, engaged by the Sylas. Kassadin trying to defend, is going to try and make his way away from the Echo gank as well. Sylas potentially went a bit too early there. Echo going for an engage. Kassadin's going to do his best not to die, and he is going to survive, but the Echo obviously going quite aggressive. And I will say, two of my favourite picks in the same game here, Kassadin and Echo. But the Kassadin survives. Pretty good survivability by him there. You know, nice patience with his flash. And now a 2v3. Again, Hecarim, very strong champion in the current meta. You know, tank items still quite strong, but Hecarim didn't even go really. I think he did originally go like maybe the Sunfire, but you're seeing Hecarim's more go like Triforce and stuff now. With obviously the tank items getting enough. And I will say, again, Riot Balance team, I love you, but if you guys don't know what the fix that Riot, they're nerfing the tank items again, but they're doing it the wrong way again. It mind boggles me that they can get it so wrong, because the community has been saying for ages, it's not that tanks are too tanky is the problem. It's that tanks are tanky, but also do insane amounts of damage. Meanwhile, Kassadin going aggressive, doing a lot of damage straight away to the Janna. Rakan ult from the Sylas who stole it. Kassadin going to continue to try and go aggressive. But this play, let's be honest, was way too aggressive. But they're going to see what they can do. Hecarim in the area does have ultimate versus Echo who doesn't, but that's probably going to be that. But yeah, that was a bit weird. That was way too deep in the enemy territory. But yeah, my point being that Riot are nerfing. Meanwhile, Kassadin going all in. Don't think the kill is going to happen. Sylas does a weird flash, though, to get away. Janna shields him, who's still in the area, and he will survive for now. But yeah, the nerf to items are... the tank items are... They're nerfing the tankiness of the items, not the damage. But it's the damage part that people are like, this is way too strong. Again, this Kassadin is so aggressive. So that's one thing I will say, is that this guy is not playing passive at all. He is, I am going all in as Kassadin in the early game. So that's quite unique. Even Kassadins in my personal games, you don't see go very aggressive early. Well, this one is. So at the moment, it isn't working amazingly well for him. Like, he's only died once, but the Sylas has a slight farm advantage. But Kassadin as a champion, as a scaling champion, if you get a scaling champion strong in the early game, then you're basically your mid to late game carry potential in the early game. And that's where you just completely take over a game. And that's champions like Kassadin, Kayle, Akali. That's where if these champions get too strong in the early game, the game is practically over. Meanwhile, big engage actually happening. Rakan engaging as well in the area. Ignite comes down and probably a dead Sylas, and Kassadin finally gets himself the kill. But obviously with the help of the Rakan, who is heavy roaming, most likely because there's not much happening in bot lane. So he's probably just like, I can try to do something mid. And yeah, worth also noting, someone just said in Twitch chat, this isn't even a Kassadin player. You know, this night, and obviously, yeah, they're the 5th challenger player in EU West. They can probably play most things and do quite well. You know, they're a mid lane main. They don't specialize in 1 or 2 champs. So they're just a generically very good champion player. But maybe this is why we're seeing this be so aggressive, because they're not a Kassadin player. So they're like, I'm going to just play Kassadin like I would any other mid lane. I'm going to play it aggressive if that's this person's playstyle. It's a bit weird to see, but it's interesting to see, because you're just not really expecting a Kassadin to go all in this early. So he's roaming to top lane. Echo picks himself up 1 kill on the Camille and ults away, which is fun. And that roam, unfortunately, for Kassadin is probably going to be wasted. The Camille, I guess, went a bit too close to the Echo and got killed before Kassadin even got there. Both supports, by the way, you can see in the mid-ish area of the map. So bot lane, you get the bot lane meta at the moment is, again, pretty much leave your AD carry to farm, and that's about it. Meanwhile, Sylas potentially going all in, and it is literally a 2v2. Mid lane and support, 2v2 in mid lane. Weird. Challenger games, right? Hopefully Froggen will be able to catch up in bot lane, but let's be honest, the strength of Ezreal is nowhere near the strength of Jhin right now, with the Jhin doing 100% the Dark Harvest Eclipse Collector build. It's just nuts. You know, how do you beat that build? In essence, yeah, beat it, kill it before it even can get close to you. That's probably about it. Because if you're letting a Jhin actively attack with that build, it's trouble. Meanwhile, another big fight. Again, Rakan and Janna are still around the area. Kassadin gets another kill. Then the Janna is going in as well. By the way, she used the Ignite on Kassadin. But that will be that one other kill to Kassadin. Or Kassadin. But yeah, this is bizarre. This is literally bizarre. The supports are basically moved into mid lane. Kassadin going to go back, though. This should give us an idea of what item he's going to go. Mythic. Ooh. Huh. I guess Kassadin does need mana, so maybe he can't get away. Well, couldn't you... I don't know. Like, couldn't you go, like, Night Harvester on Kassadin with then building a tier for Seraphs? Like, you could probably do that. But this Kassadin has chosen not to do that. So he's gone Ludens, by the way. So that will give a Kassadin... This obviously is more burst item. But also it gives Kassadin wave clear, you know? With the obviously the lightning bolts that come off Ludens. So this... Ludens is definitely not what I would have expected, like, personally. But this is going to be interesting. And as I mentioned, the idea of my preseason content is I want to try and make a video near enough on every single champion in League. Whether that's me playing it or doing a spectate video. Like, I don't play Kassadin, so this is probably the preseason Kassadin video, for example. So Kassadin a little bit worried that they could be doing Dragon. Whenever your top laner, or sorry, whenever your jungler is showing top and the Dragon is up, yeah, maybe, you know, go over to the Dragon if you can, if you've got strength to do so. And yeah, this Kassadin already is quite strong. Just about to break the 3-digit farm mark. And we'll break it now. Which isn't too bad. 12 minutes, 100 farm for a Kassadin. That's not bad. He's now winning, obviously, farm in mid lane with all the craziness that's happened. But obviously also now has his mythic item advantage. So this is something that a lot of people have been talking about. That why the game feels so snowbally is because when one person has a mythic item or their completed first item and one doesn't, you just have such a big strength difference. Meanwhile, Kassadin going to walk on over. He jumps into the stun. Hecarim, though, goes in, but Kassadin literally gets exploded. I don't even know what killed him then, if I'm honest. The enemy team, sorry, blue team will try their best to survive. And again, hard to escape from an Echo, and he will go down. Rakan going to jump over and maybe survive. Ooh, Silas going very aggressive, but also will survive in the end. Advantage red team. They actually just took the gold lead as well. I think they weren't having the gold lead in total. And gold-wise, by the way, so mid lane, there is still over 1,000 gold lead for the Kassadin to mid lane. Meanwhile, the Camille going bot lane. Does she have ult? She does not have ult, so they can't lock down the Jhin, but she does really nicely use the E there to kind of come back onto the Jhin. So that was nicely played. Good, you know, follow up on a Jhin that probably wasn't expecting that at the time. Kassadin, though, still doing quite well. Item build now, I would presume... Well, I would presume a Zhonya's. But with this guy's playstyle, maybe a Lich Bane? Like, this guy's got a very aggressive playstyle. So Zhonya's is what I would expect. But this guy isn't really doing what I would expect. Worth also noting the Gangplank, obviously a personal favourite champion of mine, is running Divine Sunderer. Obviously, I did a Gangplank game where I didn't run any Mythic, and it actually went quite well. But it does seem Divine Sunderer is mostly what Gangplank players are doing. Kassadin with high burst, going to go for the Echo, and he will go down. 700 gold over to the Kassadin, with, again, the help of the Rakan. Not sure if any duos, obviously, are going on. Well, actually, no, they can't. No, there's no duos, because they got rid of duo queue for Master and above. So that is one thing to say. In all of these Challenger spectates from now on, if they're Master and above players, they cannot duo queue. Riot got rid of duo queuing for that rating because it made it a little bit too easy and hard to balance the games of duo queuers versus non-duo queuers. So they just got rid of duo queue, which is quite interesting. By the way, the Silas himself going Night Harvester, which is the item that I would have expected Kassadin to go, but ended up going Ludens. Dragon potentially on the table. Kassadin going aggressive. Rakan going on the Janna. Kill number 1 for the Kassadin. Now going on to the the Silas, who's on the back foot. Didn't get a kill himself. And another kill for the Kassadin, making himself 6-2-1. And already I will say, you know, let me know what you guys think if you're watching live or in the comment section. Kassadin's damage seems quite high. For the stage of the game that we're at, he's doing quite a lot of damage when he was ulting and using his E on somebody. He is doing, I would say, at least an 800 damage combo, at least, at this time of the game. That's quite a lot of damage. You know, Kassadin is kind of like a Zoe type champion. These champions can do their full combo, full damage combo every 5-10 seconds. So that's where, like, his damage already being that high, when he can do that every 5-10 seconds, is it too high early? And some people in Twitch chat are saying the damage, it just seems like Season 11 damage. That, yeah, the damage is just really high anyway, so maybe it's just part of that. Hapstein, thank you so much, dude, for your 4 months tier 1. Much appreciated, dude. But, yeah. Yes, so Kassadin, by the way, has now opted, and this does show the confidence level, aggression level of this player, has got a Magi. Crazy, dude. Like, you don't see, like, back in the day, you didn't really see, like, Kassadin's go Magi's that early, because the one thing I will say, even if I'm not a big fan of the champion, I think he's too strong, he is a high-risk champion. And, you know, maybe you could argue, oh, when he gets to level 16, he inevitably becomes insane. Yeah, but he's supposed to be vulnerable early. That's the point. Like, if you ask any high-rating player, oh, Kassadin, they'll go, oh, just beat him early. Or, you know, play an AD champion, play Zed into him, or just, you know, you can wreck him in lane phase, pretty easy peasy. So you don't see Kassadin's go Magi's that often. You don't see Kassadin's killing people in early game or having aggression in the early game, because that's just not what Kassadin is. But this one is. Right, so again, looking for top lane. Blue team with a bit of the momentum most likely would want to break the towers as quick as possible, because that gives gold to snowball. Silas looking a bit aggressive. Ignited does he get straight away. Echo looking aggressive. Obviously, that champion's still quite strong himself. Kassadin going to re-engage on the Echo. Hecarim is in the area, but I don't think too much is going to come from this right now. But this is a 4v4, by the way. 17 minutes, 4v4 top lane. Crazy. The Challenger recall, by the way, we can't see the full recall because apparently it's a bit bugged in the replay, but you can see the gold. So that Rakan is not Challenger because he did not have the Challenger recall. But yeah, Kassadin going back, buys Merc Treads, I think, and is furthering buying more ability power. Lichbane now, maybe? I'd be surprised if he doesn't go Lichbane now, because Lichbane is a very strong item. A lot of champions are getting strength with that item. It might have even been nerfed already, potentially. But obviously, Lichbane, good synergy with Kassadin. And I'll be surprised if we don't see it from him. But yeah, we will see. Right, so Kassadin so far, 6-2-1. Obviously having a great game versus the enemy team, who's having a rougher game. Echo obviously still doing fine, but Gangplank is a bit behind. Well, Gangplank ahead in farm, but has died, but the Gangplank actually has decent strength level, and by the way, has gone mana immune, so that's interesting to me. Is now on the back foot to the Kassadin. Kassadin engaging aggressively, third health straight away. Rakan coming in, does flash, does the Gangplank. Hecarim coming in, double knock up into the double, and 1 kill for Camille, 1 kill for Rakan, and I bet this Silas regrets this teleport in the end. He knows he's dead, and another kill for the Hecarim. Nice play, really good synergy between the Echo, so the Hecarim and the Rakan there. That was just really nicely done. Really nicely done. Oh, someone in Twitch just said the Rakan can be Challenger, but you don't think you get the recall if you have a low honor level. Okay, so I check if he's Challenger and we can see. This guy, let's see, Rakan. Engage is happening, another kill by him. Nope, the Rakan is Grandmaster. He is not Challenger. But there we go. 15 stacks, by the way, for Kassadin. Obviously, the item itself, if it's not too different to what it used to be, I think it becomes cost-effective at 9 stacks. Maybe? 9 stacks sounds about right. I don't know if the item's been changed at all from that, but it used to be, I think, 9 stacks. But yeah. Hecarim, by the way, item-wise, has got a Spectre's Cowl, probably... Again, item-wise, like, what items exist? Does Spirit Visage still exist? I don't even know. Probably a Spirit, though, if it exists. Solo kill for Gangplank on the Camille. So both, obviously... Oh, nice snipe, though, by Ezreal. Makes it less bad, I guess, for the Camille death. And Kassadin is looking to go aggressive. Just, you know, having that confidence level just to ult through. Whoa! Half health does the Silas go in one combo. But yeah, having the confidence as a Kassadin just to ult around without full knowledge of where the enemy team is just crazy. Echo getting engaged, sorry, Echo engaging on the Ezreal, doesn't manage to get the kill in time. Ezreal will survive. Hecarim looking to engage. Kassadin with a flank. Rakan is in the area. Rampages the Kassadin, double kill for the Kassadin. And Ezreal having the confidence to come back into the fight and doesn't die and does also get a kill. So that's nice by him as well. So yeah, high damage by Kassadin, but high damage, let's be honest. Let's not single Kassadin out. High damage for everybody. You know, that Echo was owning that Ezreal there. It was high damage too. And the Echo isn't what I would call fed. So, yeah, it's just damage. Kassadin engage. Look at that! Oh my god. Again, I just don't expect the damage output this point in the game. It surprises me. 1 kill for him, then 2 kills. So now 10-6 Kassadin. And by the way, he is now buying a Lichbane. Oh god. So luckily for me, I haven't seen too many Kassadins so far this season. But, you know, I was told, like, you know, I stream and I've got a wonderful community, but people in my community go, oh, you know, Kassadin isn't that good. But I've played against a couple of them and they didn't feel weak. I'll say that. They never felt weak. And especially, obviously, like this Kassadin doing well in the early game. This dude is insanely strong right now. So when people, like, the only thing that I would say from this video is when people say, and I literally have people said, Kassadin is unplayable, Huz. You'll be happy. You cannot play this champion anymore. The new items have ruined him. No, like, you can play any champion. Every single champion in League is viable in Challenger. 100%. And champions that already have, like, baseline strengths from the last season, I'd be very surprised if they're not playable now. Very surprised. Meanwhile, engage is happening 1v1. The Silas versus. Look at the damage. Silas is just dead. And there you go. So I said even Udyr. Well, Udyr, there are Challenger Udyr players. We had a top lane Udyr earlier that I wouldn't do that. But we had, you know, there are Challenger Udyr players that specialize in Udyr. So yeah, I wouldn't, you know, it doesn't mean I would recommend you playing some of these champions. But every champ is playable in the right playstyle in Challenger. So don't there are a lot of people that will overreact to little changes here or there, but this is where I would also say don't look at these people's overreactions and believe them all the time. Like when people say Kassadin's unplayable, don't be like, oh yeah, it's unplayable. Okay, you know, oh that's good, he's unplayable. It's not always the case. I would probably say no champion is truly unplayable in Challenger. Every single champ is probably okay. And yes, there's definitely better and worse champions. You're making it harder for yourself if you're playing a weaker champion. But you can still play it if you're good at it. But yeah, there you go. That is Kassadin. He got strong in the early game, something that he's not supposed to do. His damage level was higher than I expected in the early game. And then as you saw here in mid to late game dealing... Well, not even late game, mid game, really. 23 minutes in the game. You wouldn't expect a Kassadin to be that strong at 23 minutes normally. This one, though, mythic item, Ludens, 25 stacks of Medjais, Lichbane, Merc Treads, so not the damage boot, didn't need Sork boots, but then also buying a large rod, which probably would have gone into Death Cap. So yeah, very high damage still. So this video does show that Kassadin is still definitely playable, if anything. Whether he's broken or not, that's for you to decide. We all have our own opinions. But with the you know, all I would say is champions that are known to deal insane damage, they've pretty much all got more or less a buff because the damage in the game has gone up. So Kassadin is maybe doing more damage than he used to, and that to me is quite scary. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. Please let me know what you think of Kassadin down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.